Let's talk about loops. There are many instances in a program where you need a task repeated, and the loop is the way to do it. There are 4 basic styles of loops you need to know about: while, for, do while, and repeat until. Each of these loop styles has 4 parts that are absolutely necessary to be effective: the start, the check, the action, and the step. If you leave any of these parts out, the loop will not work. Let's illustrate this with an easy idea, like a basketball game. The start is obvious: jump ball, and the game is on. Check the clock to make sure there is still time left. Keep playing basketball. Check the clock again. Keep playing basketball. Check the clock again. Oh no, time is counting down. Game is over. That is how a loop works. Start the loop somehow. Make sure the check condition is true. Do something for the action of the loop. Step towards the stopping condition, the one that will make the check false. The key is to make sure the step is moving towards a stopping condition. In this case, the clock is counting down every second until it reaches 0. If the game clock counted forwards, the game would go on forever. This is known as an infinite loop, not a good thing. Let's look at the basic loop structures with this basketball game in mind. In a while loop structure, the start happens first, then the while condition is checked for true, making it a pretest loop. If it is true, the action takes place, and then the step. Control automatically returns to the while, which again checks for true, then action, then step. Check for true again, action again, step again. When the check is finally false, the loop ends and control resumes past the end of the while loop. The for loop behaves just like the while loop, also a pretest loop, but is set up in a more structured way. The 3 controlling parts are listed all together, with the action at the end. After the start, the condition is checked, but the sequence skips down to the action, then back up to the step, then the check, then the action, step, check, and so on in this circular motion until the check is false and the loop ends. The do-while loop is similar to the while and the for, except the check is at the end, making it a post-test loop. After the start, the action happens immediately, then the step, and finally the check. If the condition is true, control goes back to the top of the loop with the action and step, and then check again. If true, action happens again, step again, and check again. When the final check is false, the loop ends. The repeat until loop is similar to the do while in that it is a post-test loop with the check at the end. The difference is that the nature of the check is reversed. For the loop to continue, the check needs to be false. After the start, the action happens immediately, then the step, and finally the check. If the check condition is false, control goes back to the top of the loop with the action and step and check again. If false, action happens again, step again, and check again. When the final check is true, the loop ends. So there you have the 4 basic styles of loops: the while, the for, the do while, and repeat until, with each consisting of 4 parts: the start, check, action, and step.